There is a potential breakthrough in the Ukraine crisis after marathon talks in Geneva. The U.S., Ukraine, Russia, and European Union reached an agreement Thursday to ease tensions. The tentative deal calls for all sides to end the violence and provocative actions. It also called for armed groups, to lay down their weapons and vacate occupied buildings. The deal means that further sanctions against Moscow are on hold for now. We have team coverage across the region, but first, CCTV's Jack Barton breaks down just what this agreement means for the parties involved.
The four-party negotiations lasted more than 7 hours. But in the end, a tentative agreement was struck that could ease Ukraine's crisis and avert deeper sanctions targeting Russia.
All illegal armed groups must be disarmed, and all illegally occupied buildings must be returned to the legitimate owners. All occupied streets, squares, and other public spaces in all cities in Ukraine must be liberated. There must be an amnesty for all protesters, except for those found guilty of a capital offense.
That agreement covers Kiev's Maidan protest camp, as well as buildings occupied by pro-Russia militants in the east. It was also agreed that Europe's Organization of Security and Cooperation would essentially play peacekeepers.
They undertake a special role in assisting Ukrainian authorities and local communities in the immediate implementation of the de-escalation measures.
In return, Moscow received guarantees of constitutional reform to protect ethnic Russians. Russia's foreign minister was assured by his Ukrainian counterpart that Ukraine's troubled eastern region would be granted more autonomy, including the right to elect local governments, as well as have control over budgets and the education system. But the diplomats were quick to point out a verbal agreement is different from action.
That words on paper will only mean what the actions that are taken as a result of those words produce. So it is absolutely clear now that what is important is that these words are translated immediately into actions.
At best, Thursday's meeting was described as the first potential steps towards a managed de-escalation. Jack Barton, CCTV, Geneva.